Here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Robinson is Donald Trump's handpicked North Carolina gubernatorial candidate. Now, if you know anything about Marky Mark likes posting. He likes posting and he likes gooning. He is a massive fucking gooner, a real freak, a real fucking freak. Now, Marcus Jebediah Robinson had a problem. He liked gooning a little too much. And inevitably, all of that gooning got him caught. Turns out after getting notoriety on a post that went viral on Facebook because he was chirping about guns, immediately the Republican Party was like, you're our guy. We want you to be our guy. We want you to run for politics. But in that process, people found out a lot of stuff about Marky Mark because it turns out he's a born-again Christian, immediate red flag, okay, with a massive porn addiction. Politico found email addresses belonging to Mark Robinson on Ashley Madison leaks. But even before that, a porn shop in his hometown actually found that Marky Mark was a frequenter of said porn shop. I covered the story briefly, but it doesn't end there. My man did a lot more than just simple gooning, okay? It wasn't just simple goonage. There was a lot more going on there than just cranking. I wanted to fucking scale this back and start off with Marky Mark Robinson's original claim to fame, okay? Mark Robinson becomes a notable figure in American politics because he is doing a rant about guns, okay, and how Americans need to have their guns. I believe he then becomes the lieutenant governor. Mark Keith Robinson is an American politician currently serving as the 35th lieutenant governor of North Carolina since 2021. Here's the issue. Marky Mark Robinson has already famously quoted Adolf Hitler on his fucking Facebook. He already had done that. Now, this wouldn't be that big of an issue. I mean, he's a black man. There's like a level of plausible deniability that you can apply in this circumstance. And you could be like, oh, that's the old me. Like, I don't believe that. Except, no, he literally defended it in motherfucking 2021. He was like, I guess history books are also pro-Hitler because they quote Hitler. He doubled down. Now, this is before the new information that just came out that obviously reconfirmed what everyone's suspicions were, that this was a man who was basically Black Hitler, okay? I need you to understand. Marky Mark Robinson started his political journey by reading a book by Rush Limbaugh, after which he found out that he was a conservative and always had been. On April 3rd, 2018, Robinson attended a meeting of the Greensboro City Council, where they debated whether or not to cancel a gun show in the wake of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. Robinson spoke in favor of gun rights, and his video, the video of the speech, went viral after it was shared on Facebook by Mark Walker. Afterwards, Robinson dropped out of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and left his job in furniture manufacturing to focus on public speaking engagements. He was invited to speak at the National Rifle Association of America's annual convention that year. And in the 2020 campaign, when he was running as the lieutenant governor of North Carolina, people were like, hey, we looked through your old posts, and on Facebook, you like openly quoted Adolf Hitler. Like, what the fuck is that about? That's weird. Why did you do that? To which he responded with, at the time, history books also fucking quote Adolf Hitler. What am I? What am I, a history book? No, I'm Mark Robinson. And also, that's a weird way to double down on why you quoted Adolf Hitler. He posted this in 2014 on Facebook. He said, history, who said it? Number one, pride in one's own race, and that does not imply contempt for other races, is also a normal and healthy sentiment. I have never regarded the Chinese or the Japanese as being inferior to ourselves. They have the right to be proud of their past, just as we have a right to be proud of the civilization to which we belong. The post, which he never deleted, by the way, was publicly available. Then, at a Moms for Liberty summit in July, Robinson fervently defended his choice to quote the genocidal leader of the Nazi Party, implying that doing so without context is not akin to endorsing his words or actions. Whether you're talking about Adolf Hitler, whether you're talking about Chairman Mao, or Stalin, whether you're talking about Pol Pot or Castro in Cuba or a dozen other despots all around the globe, it's time for us to get back and start reading some of those quotes. It's time for us to start teaching our children about the dirty, despicable, awful things that those communist and socialist despots did in our history. Except he was quoting Adolf Hitler. He wasn't quoting those guys, and he was agreeing with it. So, it is what it is. In other posts, Robinson minimized the horrors of the Holocaust, claimed a satanic Marxist had made the movie Black Panther to pull shekels out of black audiences, likened women getting abortions to murderers, and derided gay people as filth and maggots. Not with the F, but with the M, which is very interesting because you're right there. Why didn't you just say the other thing? This is all the stuff that was readily available before, by the way. This is part of the reason why he was already very unpopular in the North Carolina governor race, just so you understand. So the new shit that has come out on Mark Robinson is just basically repeating the old shit. He also expressed archaic views about women's role in society, telling a Charlotte area church in 2022 that Christians are called to be led by men. God sent women out when they had to do their thing, but when it was time to face down Goliath, he sent David, not Davida, David, Robinson said at the time. And yet Robinson's gubernatorial win would turn the state's executive branch, its last Democratic holdout, red, effectively locking Democrats out of a state they had once predicted would be their stronghold in the South. Robinson's likely opponent come November will be attorney Josh Stein, the Democratic favorite, and that is his opponent. Josh Stein is also cooking him in the polls even before this new announcement. Here it is, by the way. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it.
It was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. We didn't quibble about it. We didn't argue about it. We didn't fight about it. We killed it. Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad. Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing. It's time for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity. It's time to call out those guys in green and go have them handled.
Who are the guys in the green that he's talking about? I'm not going to make fun of him and obviously point to the Key and Peele sketch that immediately comes to mind here that seemingly is a direct carbon copy of what Mark Robinson's getup looks like, down to the motherfucking holster for his phone on his belt. But goddamn, his fit is ridiculous. Now, another thing that was known beforehand was that he was a Gooner. Mark Robinson, the Republican candidate for governor of North Carolina. This came out on September 3rd by The Intelligencer, New York Magazine. Mark Robinson really used to love porn, according to the guys at the porn store. This was a story that came out at the beginning of this month. From 1990s all the way into the early 2000s, Mark Robinson frequented a porn store in North Carolina. Okay, a 24-hour porn video shop in Greensboro. Who spoke with the North Carolina investigative website, The Assembly. He says Robinson was coming in to watch videos in a private booth as many as 5 nights a week. The man, who is beautifully named Louis Money, said that at one of the stores he worked at, gents, patrons could buy videos for $50 each or preview them in private booths for $8. Every night that I worked, which would have been 5 nights a week, I saw Mark, Louis Money said. He was spending a good amount of money. Robinson previewed at least 2 tapes a night per money. He was a certified Gooner, okay? He would go to the porn store to crank one out literally twice a night, 5 times a week. This is exactly the type of dude that is like gonna be like, oh man, porn addiction is a real problem. It's like, yeah, for you, okay? Most people don't have the stamina, the endurance, the intensity, or the interest to goon that much. Yeah, for you, it is a problem. It obviously is altering your relationships. Oh my God, here he is. Oh my God, you found it. It was cool running into an old friend today. We disagree on politics. However, you have always been cool with me. How did you find this? This has 1 like. How did you find this? God damn, dude is in porn debt. Oh, this is where the photo comes from the assembly. I will share this every chance I get because Mark Robinson still hasn't paid my buddy Lewis for his porn purchases, and anyone who's that financially irresponsible has no business being our governor. Oh my God. He was not only a gooner, but he refused to pay his goon debt? How do you go into debt cranking, dude? Now, I would need you to understand something. This article came out before the K-File stuff. So now that catches us up with the latest and greatest from Mark Robinson. Politico came out with its own opposition dump, finding that Mark Robinson, his email address was found on Ashley Madison. Ashley Madison is the famous cheating website that had a massive and very consequential leak. The discovery of Robinson's email on Ashley Madison came as fellow Republicans were already cringing over CNN's report uncovering offensive posts he purportedly made on a porn site under the same email. Robinson denied making the posts. So let's look at these posts now, okay? Let's get back to the start of this show, start of the Mark Robinson show, and let's cover it from the top. Now that you are primed with the knowledge of what Mark Robinson is, from the Adolf Hitler support to being a fucking massive gooner, let's take a look at what K-File found in his investigative reporting.
We start with a CNN exclusive in our politics lead. CNN's K-File has uncovered shocking new details about the Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina. He is the state's current lieutenant governor. He is a man who says a lot of wild and offensive things. His name is Mark Robinson. A CNN investigation finds that Robinson posted on a porn site starting in 2008. He described himself on the porn site as a, quote, black Nazi, and he wrote posts expressing support for reinstating slavery. And that's just the stuff we can tell you on television. CNN's Andrew Kaczynski did the digging, broke the story, and he spoke with Lieutenant Governor Robinson today. I want to warn viewers that this report includes some disturbing and rather graphic comments. Andrew.
Now, you might find yourself asking the very serious question here. Absolutely, who the would write comments on a porn website? Sometimes when I'm in the throes of cranking it, okay, I often ask that same question. I'm like, who the is writing comments? And it's always usually like bots, right? Turns out, current Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina is the answer to that question. If you're not only gripping, but you're also posting comments on a fucking forum dedicated to pornography, you have gone above and beyond, okay? You are a real gooner. I tip my hat to you, sir.
First, tell us what you discovered here.
Jake, CNN found a series of highly disturbing posts made on the message board of a pornographic website more than a decade ago, and we traced them directly to Mark Robinson. We did interview Robinson today, and he categorically denies making these posts, and I'll get to that in just a moment here. But first, I want to walk people through just some of them. Take a look right here at this one. In one post, Robinson called himself a, quote, black Nazi, and when describing then President Barack Obama, writing, quote, I'd take Hitler over any of the shit that's in Washington right now. It even goes beyond that. Another disturbing post, Robinson defended slavery, writing, quote, slavery is not that bad, and I wish they would bring slavery back. I would.
Okay, there's definitely something wrong with, like, I guess this is like an even more severe version of like what Republicans always fantasize about in terms of like what their role would look like in a libertarian dystopia. It's like, dog, you do Uber Eats right now. What makes you think you would not be a serf under a ANCAP style governance? Like, why do you think things would change for you? And the same question could be presented to Mark, which is like, dude, you're black. Why do you think you would not immediately be categorically enslaved under a white supremacist governance? Like, what are you saying? This makes no sense. But many people, nah, they said I'm good, but they didn't. That's the other side of it. They don't. They never do. Like, I often talk about whiteness as a socio-political construct, right? And it is, especially in the United States of America, it means like proximity to power. And whiteness is defined by what it's not. And what it's not is black, okay? The one group of people that will never be under the white umbrella is black people. It's literally designed to do that outcome, to have that outcome. It's the permanent outgroup. So if you're a black man being like, oh man, slavery's not that bad, can't wait to buy me some slaves, is like, no, dude, that wouldn't work that way. It would not work that way at all. Why do you think it would work that way?
Certainly by a few. All of these comments and many others that you can read on CNN.
This was on a black porn site? Oh my God.
And CNN.com were made on the message board of a porn website called Nude Africa. And Jake, in addition to those posts, he also expressed views on Nude Africa that sharply contradict his current policies as a socially conservative candidate for governor. For example, he has been vocally anti-transgender, but look at what Robinson wrote on the porn message board more than a decade ago, writing that he, quote, liked watching transgender porn, adding, quote, that's effing hot, and called himself a, quote, perv.
He's a chaser! Bro, classic. Oh my God. Also, K-File, what are you saying? That doesn't mean he's pro, that doesn't mean he's pro-trans, dude. That just means he's a chaser. A lot of transphobes are. Alex Jones comes to mind.
In another thread that was discussing the story of a woman who said she was raped by her taxi driver while drunk, Robinson wrote, quote, and the moral of this story, don't F a drunk white bitch.
So he wrote all of this stuff years ago before he got into politics. How are you sure that it's him?
Yeah, so CNN, Jake, we found that Robinson consistently used that same username, Mini Soldier, that he used on Nude Africa in all of his social media. You can see it here. He used it on Pinterest, Black Planet, YouTube. He even used it as his Twitter handle. His full name was also listed on Nude Africa, and an email we found he used on Nude Africa, he used on several other websites. Now, the biographical data from multiple websites using the name Mini Soldier matches Robinson exactly, the exact date of birth, his hometown, the fact that his mother worked at an HBCU, that his favorite episode of The Twilight Zone is number 22.
And of course, this was all before he was a public figure, which would factor into the identification that this all happened back then.
Oh my God. This is like when gray names come into chat and say some unhinged shit, and then MHUD finds out like their current geographical location in like under 30 seconds. And then we look at their tweets and they're like defending pedophilia. These people have no OPSEC, dude. They have no OPSEC whatsoever. They just straight up are out there. They're just out there living their lives, saying some insane, unhinged shit with not a care about who sees it.
Then, when he was just a common citizen. So what did Lieutenant Governor Robinson have to say about all this today when you talked to him?
So Robinson calls the story trash. He says it's not him. We asked the campaign for comment. We gave them 48 hours to respond. That deadline was this morning, and that's when Lieutenant Governor Robinson agreed to do a brief interview with us about that. Here is just a little bit of that interview. Lieutenant Governor Robinson, thank you so much for being willing to talk to us. I think we'll just jump right into it. Do you deny that this account is you?
Well, first off, let me say thank you so much for allowing me to come here and clear the air. We absolutely do. This is not us. These are not our words, and this is not anything that is characteristic of me, nor has it ever been. The people here of North Carolina know I have been completely transparent about my history, all the warts. We put them all out. We let folks know about it. But the folks here also know my character. They know who I am. They know my voice, so to speak. This is not my voice. This is not things that we would ever say.
The date and time was 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving. The man was posting while fist deep in a turkey. I don't think he was fist deep in a turkey, dog.
Or even think. And so absolutely we do.
How do you explain all of the matching details on this profile? The profile on Nude Africa lists your full name as Mark Robinson. The email listed on the account is an email that you have used elsewhere on the internet, including with your photo. You have used that name, Mini Soldier, on multiple social media.
I think the email is literally like his name and his birth date too, which is what makes it even funnier. Because like all the way back in 2010, when he was working the assembly line of a fucking furniture store, ain't nobody is gonna like use his identity like that. If you want to rule out the possibilities like of some long, convoluted, complicated operation to like besmirch the reputation of Mark Robinson, like it doesn't make any sense given the time frame when he was just like a random ass guy.
Accounts, including Twitter, Pinterest, Black Planet, and YouTube. How can you deny with all of these matching details that this is you?
Look, I'm not going to get into the minutia of how somebody manufactured these salacious tabloid lies, but I can tell you this: there's been over $1 million spent on me through AI by a billionaire son who's bound and determined to destroy me. The things that people can do with the internet now is incredible. But what I can tell you is this: again, these are not my words. This is simply tabloid trash being used.
The funniest part about it is that even if he runs with this line, right? Even if he runs with this obvious lie, he said his AI is such a good boomer way to deflect. It just also corresponds to like shit that he has fucking done publicly. Like he was a gooner and he's up there posted with like a dude who was running the goon store being like, yo, that's my homie. I mean, he wasn't, I say he was a gooner. Okay, scratch that. I apologize. Chalk that up to the misinformation column. He is a gooner.
Used as a distraction from the substantive issues that the people of this state are facing. We have addressed it. We have said it's not true. And we wish we could move on and get busy with the business of the people of the state.
Okay, well, these posts, they do take place over a 5-year period.
He was posting up in ultimatesoldier.net. Hey, yo! Oh, what a treasure trove. What a fucking treasure trove, dude. A third scandal has hit Mark Robinson. Now that we know Mark Robinson used his name, Mini Soldier, everywhere, including porno forums, people like Girl Boss Woman on Twitter can dig up his other weird hobbies, like taking photos of his Nazi soldier dolls. Oh, these are these are dolls? Oh my God. Oh my God. He's a real freak. Some very nice looking Germans here on Mini Soldier. Some great poses on them too. Another excellent looking group of Germans. I can't imagine any 1/6 World War II collector wouldn't want to own. Special thanks for sending them in and sharing them with us. Good luck. That's why his name is Mini Soldier, because he collects like action figures. Oh my God, this guy is so crazy, dude. He's a Nazi Funko Pop enjoyer. Oh my Lord.
From 2008 to 2013. You mentioned AI. Are you saying that somebody was somehow manufacturing biographical details to exactly match you using your username?
Look, I have no idea how this was done. I have absolutely no idea how it was done. And I have 5 weeks left in this campaign to focus on the substantive issues that North Carolinians face. I do not have time.
Dude, why is the GOP like this? I guess they've always been like this, but they had like maybe better OPSEC, or the internet wasn't like this. Like this is happening a lot more frequently in the post-Trump era for the GOP, like the Herschel Walker stuff, right? Like that was a insanely silly person to run. Like it made no sense. Even Dr. Oz made no goddamn sense to run. And now you have like Carrie Lake. You have that exploded troop guy in Nevada. Like you have all these dudes that are like serial fucking losers that have no experience. George Santos is another one. Madison Cawthorn, Blake Masters. It's very weird how much, not to defend him, but you weebs have no room to talk about collecting toys. Dude, I think there's a difference between fucking collecting toys and collecting Nazi soldiers with like full kitted out Nazi gear. His Amazon reviews on gyno shirts, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, ain't no fucking way, dude. Oh my God, he loves like little helicopters. He did not like the Micro Mark Uncouple Light. Oh my God, it's for his like little, it's for locomotives, dude. He said, this thing does not work for N-scale couplers. The tip is far too long, far too big. Do not be fooled by the claim that it does work for all scales. The flashlight is great, but it will not uncouple N-scale cars. He did product reviews on Amazon, bro. And that was in 2021. Like he hadn't stopped. He has not stopped using the same damn account. He loves the helicopter toys. Customer review by Mini Soldier. This heli is without a doubt SEMA's best flying heli of their military miniature series. Quiet, fast, and super stable. It is head and shoulders above the Apache or Chinook, which are also great. The price is great. In fact, the price is so low, I'm thinking of buying a whole squadron of them. Buy this one. You will love it. Note, if you buy this heli, make sure you order the SEMA S102G Marines. There's another version of this heli that is not nearly as good as this one. Again, make sure you order the SEMA 102G Marines. God forbid a man have hobbies. Y'all haters shaking my head. I mean, the best one, in my opinion, is not like the mini helis, but the best one is this. Cockles Gynecomastia compression shirt. Great body slimmer. Size XXL. Color V-neck black. Reviewed in the United States on July 7th, 2024. This is a 5-star review for a gyno shirt to make your titties look better. Out of the package, it looks doubtful it will fit, but it fits perfectly and it's super easy to put on and take off. Great product. I'm currently ordering more. 10 people found this helpful. That is the last review that he has written. What an incredible sequence of events. What a wonderful story. Oh my God. I love this man. Holy shit. I've made fun of him before. I never would have thought that it would get to this point, though. Oh, let's continue.
For tabloid trash.
There have been rumors that some of your campaign staff have quit. Can you tell us if that's true or not?
Absolutely not. And we are not getting out of this race. There are people who are counting on us to win this race because, again, we don't want a governor who's going to be a person that can't be counted on to tell.
Man, I love this country. I love this country, man. I mean, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Oh, God, it's such a beautiful nation. This is it. This is where American politics makes the least sense, but also somehow makes the fucking most sense. You know what I mean? It's so good. Look at the Chiron. North Carolina GOP nominee for governor made dozens of disturbing comments on porn forum.
Tell the truth. And I can assure you, my opponent has been taken to court for not telling the truth in campaigns. And he's been completely dishonest in his ads against me. His camp is so desperate to destroy us. It's just like Clarence Thomas said years ago. This is a high-tech lynching. And, back long years ago, they used to use rope. Now they're using cable.
He loved that line.